Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and today I want to talk about cell phone boosters used in RVs. And the model that I got is the WeBoost brand, and this is the box that it comes in. This is the model RV4G, and it's one designed specifically for RVs. It has an RV on the box, and I'm not sure how it's different from a cell phone booster that you would have into a landing home. I don't think it's much different. But anyway, there are three parts to the cell phone booster system. There's the outside antenna, the inside antenna, and the booster box. So first I'm going to tell you about the three types of antennas that you can get with it, and it standardly comes with a window antenna, which looks like this, and it's designed to use it either inside or outside of the RV at a window. And there is suction cups that you can attach to here and here. So if you like using suction cups, that's fine. I don't particularly care for suction cups. You could also just put it in a window someplace where it'll stand up. Like here, for example. Just put it in a window like that and just let it sit like that. Now the second type of antenna you can get is what's called a pole-mounted antenna. It looks the same as the other one I showed you, except it's mounted onto a pole here, and then you mount this on the outside of your RV, either on the roof or right on the side of it. In the holes that you see there, you put screws in there and mount it wherever you can. I had mine mounted right here on the side of my solar panel, right there. Now, the first antenna I showed you and this one, they're directional antennas. So you have to point them to where the nearest cell phone tower is. And I'll show you how to do that in a few minutes. But problem with this antenna is that it is directional, and you do have to move it around to where the near cell phone antenna direction is. So that means that whenever you do that, you have to get up on the roof and then you just twist it like this to move it around to point to the antenna. And the only problem with that is that you have to get a ladder out and climb up on top of the roof of your motorhome, which is a lot of trouble to get the ladder out and then turn it around. So the third type of antenna is an omnidirectional antenna. So I mounted that one here on this side of my solar panel, and it's a much smaller, and it's omnidirectional antenna, so you never have to turn it around. And then this cord is a coaxial cable. It goes to a hole punched on the roof and down into the inside of the motorhome. Now the system comes with only this window model antenna. So you might wonder, why do I have all three antennas? Well, I tell you, first I tried this one and it worked okay, except that it was difficult sometimes to find a window where I could put it where it actually pointed out to the nearest cell phone tower. That was becoming a big problem, depending on where I was at the time, trying to get it in a window and then get it to stay in the window, and then finding the right place for it was a constant problem. So I called the Wilson company that makes the WeBoost antenna, and I told them about that, and they said, okay, we'll send you out an outside antenna that you can mount, the pole-mounted antenna. So they sent me this one, and I tried that for a while, and again I had the problem of having to always get up there on my ladder on my roof and turn it around to find the nearest cell phone tower. So I called them about that, and they said, okay, we'll send you the omnidirectional antenna. And I got to give a compliment to the Wilson company, because they were really good about sending me these antennas that did not come with the system, and they didn't even ask for any payment for it. So their customer service is pretty good, and when they saw I didn't like the kind of antennas I was getting, they sent me out a new one, and didn't even ask for the old one to be sent back to them. So they're a really good customer service about that. Now the second part of the system is the booster box, which is this. And you have to have a coax cable connecting this booster with the outside antenna. And that is a bit of a problem too. My booster here, you can see that cable I've got sprung out here, up there, and over there, and it goes into this cabinet where right there, if it's not too dark, you can see that it goes to the outside of the motorhome. So I keep all that cable inside of this cabinet until I need to use it, and then I take it out and just string it across the room like that. Now the third part of the system is what they call the inside antenna, which is this, and that has a wire from the booster. It's only about a 5-foot wire, and this antenna needs to be very close to your cell phone. You can just put it right on there, and it's really important that this inside antenna be as far away as possible from the outside antenna. And that was another problem with having the window antenna inside, is getting it far enough away. I'm not sure why, but when the inside antenna is too close to the outside antenna, it causes some sort of feedback or something that makes the system not work as well. So you need to have those two antennas as far apart as you can. Now you remember I was telling you about the directional antennas, the window antenna and the pole mounted antenna. You of course then need to know, where is the nearest cell phone tower? Which direction is it? Well, there's a simple app on your telephone. It's called Open Signal. So you just press this app and it will show you which direction the closest cell phone antenna is. And as I turn my phone around, you can see it's sort of like a compass. It always points to where the closest cell phone antenna is. So that's how you know where to point your directional antenna. Now I'm going to show you how to tell what signal strength you're getting in your cell phone reception. You go to the Settings app, and then you click on, of the 4 choices here across the top, the General tab, and then you scroll down to where it says About Phone. So you press on About Phone, and then you look for the choices, the one that says Network. And here it says signal strength -113. And it does keep varying a lot. You go from -111, -117. It varies from second to second, the signal strength that you're getting in. So now I'm going to show you what the difference it makes when I turn it on, because right now the booster is turned off, and that signal strength varies from about 125 being the worst down to about 50 being the best. So the smaller number you see there, the better signal strength you're getting. Now the booster system comes with 2 power cords, a 120 AC power cord and a 12 volt DC power cord. I use the 12 volt. And so here is my 12 volt connection, and it has a button on the end of it that you flip and turn it on, and that's the way I turn the booster on and off. So now I put the inside antenna right on the cell phone, and you can see now the signal strength has gone down to 84. and 88, 87. You can see that it just changes by the second. I don't know why, but that cell phone strength is not constant, except that it's constantly changing from second to second. And typically I find that it improves the signal strength about 25%. That'll vary from 20% to 30%, depending on your location and how strong a signal you've got in the first place. And also, when you turn it on, the booster here, you see it's got 4 green lights and then it flashes the 4 red lights. The more green lights you have, the better. When it flashes 4 red lights, sometimes it'll be 3 red lights and 1 green light. So if you got 8 green lights, then that's the strongest signal possible. But the real test of how good a signal you've got is in what the cell phone says here at -85. And if you move this antenna away from the phone, you'll see that it will jump up to 105. Now I'll move it back to the phone and let's see if it goes back down. There you go, 87. So you can see how important that is, that you have this really close to the phone and then have your outside antenna, like I said before, as far away as possible from the inside antenna. Now one thing I gotta say is that I've used this in many locations. In some locations it just doesn't make much difference, if any. Then in some locations you get a much difference change in improvement of your signal strength. So don't expect anything to be really consistent. And also, when I'm browsing the internet or downloading something, it's really hard to tell much difference it makes. Theoretically, it should make your speed improved 25-30%. I found it's kind of hard to tell just how much it's improving, but theoretically it should be. So I'm glad I got the system, and I'm glad I finally got the omnidirectional antenna where I don't have to worry about moving it around. And it's an expensive system. I think it's, I don't know, it's over $400, but if you're going to use it a lot, it's definitely going to be worth it. So there you go, folks. I hope that's helped you if you've been thinking about getting a cell phone system. And pretty much all the WeBoost is by far the biggest, most well known in the business. Other brands, I don't know how well they work, but just about everybody gets the WeBoost system that I've ever heard from. So give it a try. If getting strong cell phone signal reception is important to you, then you're definitely going to want a cell phone booster, which helps mostly for not in telephone reception so much, but in internet reception. That's when the cell phone boosting is most important to increase your internet speed. So there you go. Good day, folks.